Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen. Today, in the opposition side of the House, we stand on a side that believes that the costs outweigh the benefits. And we ask ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, the question that we want to pose in this debate is, to what extent do we need to go to Mars? Is it worth it, ladies and gentlemen? In order to answer this question, we in the opposition side have three main arguments. The first one that has to do with, do we really need to go to Mars? And the initiative, why are we incentivizing this project? The second argument that has to do with the cost of such a program and missions that may outweigh the benefits. These arguments I will deal with during my speech. The third argument that has to do with the priorities for humanity will be talked in Antonio's speech in our second speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, but before I go into my substantive material, I would like to do some rebuttal to the proposition side. The first argument that they address had to do with boundaries, setting new boundaries to humanity and enlarging the scope of knowledge. But ladies and gentlemen, they are defending knowledge for the sake of knowledge, with no actual application. Just Bernardo told us that some things like that. And also, they are not considering that the cost they are saying that the cost is worth it, but ladies and gentlemen, what is the reality of this? Their second argument has to do with the future investment and how this might save us from an asteroid. Exactly how are they going to avoid an asteroid hitting Earth? We asked this to the proposition because it seems to be an important example on their case. But ladies and gentlemen, the point is that currently we don't know if an asteroid is going to hit our world. What it is true is that water scarcity, the wrong distribution, and pollution are actual problems that we need to address. I'll take in a second. And while we address this unreal problem of Mars, we're diverting resources that are very valuable to solving these actual problems. Yes,
these problems can be fixed through developing infrastructure, which is through mathematics, physics, all of these things that the space program brings us.
Yeah, but we don't need the space program to develop or to encourage these studies. Ladies and gentlemen, we can defend and encourage sciences, research, investigation, without having to say that we want to go to Mars, or without investing loads of money in this insane enterprise. So,
point there.
No, thank you, madam. So now I will address my 2 points. First, do we really need to go to Mars? And I ask today, ladies and gentlemen, why is Mars a piece of rock so relevant for humanity? The proposition side told us that it was because it enabled knowledge, because this piece of rock was inspiration for scientists. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not really true. We don't really need to go to Mars. What they are saying to us is that we really need to invest and to encourage scientific development, technologies, and of course, knowledge. But ladies and gentlemen, we need knowledge with certain applications that can help us more directly, not just to bring some Marshall rocks that won't help us at all.
That point, sir.
What we really need, no thanks, sir. What we really need is not to go to Mars. They basically, Bernardo just talked about scientific development. Yes, we need it. But ladies and gentlemen, we don't understand what is the real need between Mars. Because he himself considered that Mars was just a facade, just an image and something that we wanted. But it was not a real outcome. Yes, sir.
We talk about Mars as a way to achieve many things, and in a way we'll be achieving knowledge through mathematics and engineering.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, we will tell all the scientists in the world that they will be helping humankind and help the lives of thousands of individuals, and this will be their goal, their inspiration. And we believe that this facade is the same it is not the same as going to Mars in the sense that they are portraying, but not the same because the cost of Mars is outrageous, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, we need to encourage and pursue research. We need pragmatic research and pragmatic investigation, not just some insane idea of going to Mars. Yes, sometimes science needs an illusion, but this illusion of Mars, which they just considered that it was an illusion, is not a good one, ladies and gentlemen, because of the cost. This leads me to our second argument in this debate. Good things have a cost, and we are aware of that in the opposition side. We realize that sometimes you have to make certain risky decisions, and sometimes you have to invest in order to create and to empower technologies, science, and things that help humanity. But ladies and gentlemen, when something is not pragmatic enough, then it should be stopped. When the cost, the economic cost, and the cost for society is too great, then we cannot keep on supporting the technology or the science side. We believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to have a balance. And this economic factor is going into prices that are going to affect our social and economic stance. So why is this excessive? Ladies and gentlemen, 1/3 of the budget of the NASA is spent on maintenance and managing the spacecraft to be in regular conditions, even if they don't have a programmed mission soon. Ladies and gentlemen, even this failed when we saw the Discovery crash as it went into the atmosphere. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to consider also that 75% of all the missions to Mars have been a complete failure, in which the little robot that was going, I'll take you in a second, that was going to Mars, basically missed Mars and is just flying there in the space, or because it crashed in the surface of the planet. Yes.
Well, yes, this is exactly why we believe that money should be put into these programs in order to develop them further so that they work now.
Yes, we know, ladies and gentlemen, we know this, but where do we draw the line between an excess and what it is rational investment? It is now an excessive investment when 75% of the failures, and we still are going to invest in the new ExoMars mission, which is going to be done by the European Space Agency and NASA, 10 billion euros, ladies and gentlemen. These quantities, this amount of money is going to help our society in many more aspects than just putting a man on a piece of rock that is floating on space. We believe that it is not really relevant, like in my point, to go to Mars. What is relevant, and they consider, is that science needs an incentive. But what better incentive than to improve the quality of life of millions of people? Ladies and gentlemen, also, we need to be rational. We need to have, when it comes into practice, these scientific ideas, they must actually help society and keep an economic balance. Because this economic balance of the ExoMars mission and the time that is lost, and we have to wait till 2030, diverts resources, ladies and gentlemen, and doesn't allow us to commit to certain goals that are more direct, such as distributing water. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the healthcare bill of Mr. Obama seems more rational when we compare it with such a yes and expenditures as the mission to Mars. It is better to give some real needs to society than absurd claims. It is on this ground, ladies and gentlemen, that I beg you to oppose the motion.